Have you ever paused in the quiet spaces between the relentless noise of the world and asked yourself, who am I beneath all these labels and expectations? When the world tells you your strength is dangerous, your courage is violent, your very nature suspect, what remains of the man you know inside? Once the sacred masculine was the fire that warmed the hearth of civilization, the warrior's fierce protection, the king's wise guidance, the builder's steady hands. They were the pillars of existence, the heartbeat of creation itself. These were not mere roles, but profound archetypes carved into the collective soul of humanity. Yet somewhere along the path of history, the flame was misunderstood. The sacred fire was feared, restrained, and recast as something to be controlled, silenced, even vilified. Strength became aggression, leadership became tyranny, protection became control. Today, many men walk the earth wounded, not by swords or arrows, but by silent cultural currents that fracture the soul. They feel a deep, restless call to something greater, yet doubt clouds their vision. Their identity feels splintered, disconnected, and under siege. This video is an invitation, a sacred call, to reclaim what was never lost, only hidden. To awaken the warrior, the king, the builder within. To break the spell cast by fear and misunderstanding. If you are ready to embark on this path of remembrance and power, stay with me. This journey may be uncomfortable, but beyond the storm lies a man renewed, unbreakable, whole. To reclaim your power, you must first understand the wound, the spell of forgetting. The fracture was not abrupt. It was a slow, quiet forgetting. You were not told outright that your nature was flawed, but rather that it must be subdued, tamed, hidden. The world whispered, sometimes loudly, sometimes in passing. Your strength frightens us. Your anger is dangerous. Your desire to protect is suffocating. These whispers seeped into your bones, planting seeds of doubt and confusion. You learned to shrink, to soften, to silence the roar within. You hid your fire beneath layers of compliance and fear. But what is hidden does not disappear. It festers and wounds. The man who forgets himself becomes a ghost in his own life, wandering without direction or purpose. This is the spell modern culture casts, a silent, pervasive enchantment convincing the lion he is a lamb, the protector a threat, the leader obsolete. Yet every spell has its cracks. Every crack lets in a shard of light. Close your eyes now. Take a deep breath. Feel the faint flicker of that forgotten fire within your chest, the sacred spark waiting to ignite again. This moment is the beginning, the call to remember who you truly are, beneath the layers of doubt and fear. What is it you have forgotten about yourself? The wounded warrior within. Look inward, beyond the surface. Can you see him? The wounded warrior. His armor is chipped, his sword dulled. His eyes carry the weight of battles unseen, wounds no one else can touch. This warrior is burdened not only by the scars of external conflict, but by the deeper injury of being misunderstood and dismissed. He has been told to apologize for his fire, to soften his edges, to shrink his shadow so it no longer intimidates. Yet beneath the wounds beats a heart fierce with purpose, a heart that recalls the ancient code etched into every man's soul. To protect, to build, to lead with courage, to love without surrender. His wounds do not mark his failure. They signal a gateway, a call to heal, to rise, to reclaim what culture tried to silence. Now close your eyes, breathe deeply into this wounded space. Feel the heaviness, the ache, let it speak. In the voice of your wounds is the first step toward freedom, toward wholeness. The wounded warrior is waiting, not to be fixed by outside hands, but to be met with courage and compassion from within. What if your wounds are not your weakness, but your greatest strength? The inner battlefield. Inside your mind, a war rages, not between you and the world, but within the depths of your own soul. Voices clash like thunder. One calls you to courage, the other to doubt. One urges you forward, the other holds you back. This battle is not between good and evil, but between the man you are told to be and the man you truly are. Your mind feels like a storm, thoughts crashing like waves, emotions swirling like fierce winds. But you are not the storm. You are the vast, unshakable sky that holds the storm. Now close your eyes, breathe deep. See yourself as that endless sky, vast, calm, unbroken, holding space for every raging storm. Watch the tempest rise and fall, but know it does not define you. The storm will pass, and you remain, the unmovable presence beneath the chaos. This awareness is the warrior's first victory, to see beyond the noise and claim the stillness beneath. Can you see yourself beyond the storm? Control calls to you like a siren song. If you hold the reins tightly, you will be safe. But this safety is a mirage. Control is a cage woven from fear. You have been taught to control your emotions, your voice, your very nature, to hide your power lest it threatens others. But the sacred masculine is not born of control. It is born of presence. Like the mountain standing firm through wind and rain, the true warrior stands unmoved, not because he controls the storm, but because he is rooted deeply in himself. Close your eyes now. Feel your roots grow deep into the earth like that mountain, strong, steady, unmoved by external chaos. Presence is power, not control. When you release the illusion of control, you reclaim your power in its truest form. What happens when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable? Storms of the mind. The mind is a tempest, a swirling chaos of doubt, anxiety, and anger. It's easy to mistake the waves for who you are, to feel battered and broken, tossed endlessly in the sea of your emotions. But remember, above the storm is the sky, vast, still, infinite. You are not your emotions. You are the witness to them. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. See yourself as that endless blue sky. Let the waves rise and fall. Let the winds howl. You remain untouched, calm, serene, whole. This stillness is your true nature, the sacred masculine beneath the noise. Can you rest in the eye of your own storm? The shadow of the feminine feminism rose as a sacred call, a demand for balance, respect, and healing. But like all powerful forces, it carries a shadow. When the feminine loses connection to her own sacred self, fear arises. She fears the masculine fire, misunderstanding protection as control, strength as violence, leadership as oppression. This fear can wound the masculine deeply. It creates withdrawal, confusion, fracture. This is not a battle of men versus women. It is a call to restore sacred balance within ourselves and in the world. Close your eyes. Breathe. Feel the dance of masculine and feminine energies within you. Honor both. Heal the wounds that divide. How do you hold space for the sacred feminine without losing your sacred masculine? The king in exile. Inside every man lives the king, the archetype of vision, wisdom, order, and blessing. But many kings have been exiled from their own thrones, their crowns set aside, their voices silenced by culture's doubts and fears. Without the king, the warrior loses direction. Without the king, chaos grows unchecked. The king governs not through fear or force, but through wisdom, compassion, and love. He blesses and protects the sacred. Close your eyes now. Feel the weight and the warmth of a crown settling on your head. Are you ready to reclaim your throne within? The king is waiting for you to come home. If these words stir something deep inside you, share your thoughts below. Together, let us awaken the brotherhood of kings rising. The sacred masculine under siege. The sacred masculine feels besieged, not by visible enemies, but by silent cultural currents that undermine his essence. Masculine traits once honored, strength, courage, leadership, are now sometimes branded as toxic, aggressive, or outdated. This reframing leaves many men disoriented, as if the compass that guided their inner world has been shattered. But the sacred masculine is not toxic. It is sacred. It is the pulse of creation, the steady hand that builds, the fire that protects. It is neither domineering nor submissive, but balanced, fierce yet compassionate, powerful yet humble. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Feel the pulse of the sacred masculine beating within your chest, a quiet power, ancient and eternal. This power cannot be destroyed. It can only be forgotten. You are called to remember. Will you stand and reclaim the sacred masculine within? The warrior's code. The warrior is the first guardian of the sacred masculine. He lives by a code: courage, honor, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment to protect what is sacred. The warrior does not seek conflict but meets it with calm and clarity. He understands that true strength is not force, but presence. The warrior is both fierce and tender, a paradox held in balance. Close your eyes. Picture a warrior standing in a quiet forest clearing. Feel the weight of his sword, the steadiness of his breath. He is ready, not for battle against others, but for the battle within, the battle to remain true, to remain whole. What does your warrior code look like? Reclaiming the warrior's fire. When the warrior's fire dims, confusion takes root. Without fire, there is no purpose, no passion. The world may have tried to quench your flame with judgment and fear, but the fire within you is eternal. It waits, ready to burn bright again. Close your eyes. Breathe deep into your solar plexus. Feel the warmth growing. This is your sacred fire, your inner warrior rising from ashes. Allow it to burn away doubt and fear. You are a man born of fire, created to illuminate, to protect, to forge paths unknown. Are you ready to ignite your warrior's fire? Emotional depth and the sacred masculine. The modern narrative often suggests men must hide their feelings to appear strong, but true strength is found in emotional depth and honesty. The sacred masculine embraces his emotions without shame. He recognizes that vulnerability is the gateway to connection, courage, and wisdom. To deny emotion is to deny life itself. Close your eyes, feel your heart beating, your breath flowing. Allow yourself to open to the full spectrum of feeling: joy, pain, love, anger. These are not signs of weakness, but marks of a soul fully alive. The sacred masculine honors emotion as sacred energy that fuels his path. How deeply can you feel and still stand strong? The role of the builder. The sacred masculine is also the builder. He shapes, creates, and nurtures the world around him with steady hands and visionary eyes. Creation is his birthright, the ability to bring order to chaos, to craft something lasting and meaningful. In reclaiming the builder, you reclaim your power to influence reality with intention and love. Close your eyes. Imagine your hands shaping clay, planting a tree, or drafting a vision for the future. Feel the strength in your ability to create. You are not a destroyer, but a creator of worlds. What will you build with your sacred masculine power? Defending the sacred. To defend is to honor what is sacred: family, community, values, the soul itself. This defense is not born of fear or aggression, but of love and responsibility. The sacred masculine stands as a protector, a guardian of the fragile and the precious. Modern culture may challenge this role, but it remains vital. Close your eyes. Feel the weight of a shield in your hand, the steady beat of a heart ready to defend. Know that to protect is to serve something greater than oneself. This is the highest calling of the warrior within you. Will you take up the shield and stand in defense of what matters? Art of stillness. In a world that values constant action and noise, stillness is a radical act. For the warrior, stillness is where true power grows. In stillness, the warrior meets himself fully, without distraction or pretense. It is here that clarity is born, that the mind finds peace beyond the storm. Close your eyes. Sit in silence. Feel the breath flowing, steady and sure. In this quiet, the warrior's heart speaks. Stillness is not weakness. It is the foundation of all strength. Can you find strength in the silence between the storms? Reclaiming purpose. Purpose is the North Star guiding the warrior through darkness. Without it, the man drifts, lost in seas of doubt and distraction. Reclaiming purpose is reclaiming your soul's direction. What calls you deeper than comfort and fear? Close your eyes. Feel the pulse of purpose beating within your chest. What is the call that stirs your spirit? Purpose is sacred fire, burning bright enough to light the way even in the darkest night. When you reclaim your purpose, you reclaim your power to shape your destiny. What is the true north that calls you onward? Embracing vulnerability. Vulnerability is the threshold to true connection. The warrior who hides behind armor cannot lead or love fully. True courage is the willingness to be seen, whole, imperfect, authentic. In vulnerability, the sacred masculine finds depth and strength beyond mere bravado. Close your eyes. Feel your chest open, your breath soften. Allow yourself to be seen by your own heart first. This is the gateway to genuine power and freedom. What strength lies hidden in your vulnerability? The power of boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates that protect your sacred space. The warrior sets clear limits to defend his energy, time, and soul. Without boundaries, the sacred masculine is diluted, overwhelmed, and lost. To say no is to say yes to what truly matters. Close your eyes. Sense the lines you need to draw in your life. Feel the power in honoring your own limits. Boundaries are the guardians of your sacred self. What boundaries will you honor today to protect your spirit? Reconnecting with the body. The body is the temple of the sacred masculine, yet many men live disconnected, floating in thoughts, detached from sensation. Ground yourself in breath, movement, and presence. The warrior's power is rooted in the body, in its strength, resilience, and wisdom. Feel your feet on the earth, the rise and fall of your breath. Reconnect with the primal strength within your bones. Your body remembers what the mind forgets. Where does your body want to lead you? The brotherhood reborn. True strength is not found in isolation, but in brotherhood. Men supporting men, sharing truth and holding space without judgment. Together, the sacred masculine rises anew. Feel the power of connection and shared purpose. Know you are not alone on this path. The brotherhood is waiting, ready to walk beside you. Who will stand with you as you reclaim your power? The inner king awakens. The king is more than power. He is wisdom, compassion, and vision. He balances the warrior's fire with calm authority and benevolence. The king leads not through fear, but through love and purpose. Feel the crown settle gently on your head. Hear the voice of your inner king, steady, clear, and kind. Are you ready to awaken the king within? Will you rise and rule your inner kingdom with grace? Breaking the spell. The spell of doubt, shame, and fear dissolves in truth. Truth is a sword that cuts illusions and frees the soul. Stand tall in your sacred nature. Breathe in courage. Feel the bonds of limitation fall away. You are not broken, you are awakening. The spell is broken. What will you do with your freedom? If your heart is ready to break free, share your awakening below. Your journey is part of a greater story, a brotherhood rising. Building the new legacy. Legacy is born in daily choices. What story will you write with your life? Will it be one of fear, silence, and retreat? Or will you build from sacred purpose, strength, and vision? Imagine the world your legacy creates. See the faces of those who will benefit from your courage. The builder creates not only for himself, but for generations yet to come. What legacy do you choose to leave behind? Healing the father wound. Many men carry the silent burden of a fractured relationship with their father, whether present, absent, or distant. This father wound leaves a gap in identity, a longing for approval, guidance, and belonging. Healing this wound is not about blaming, but reclaiming. It is stepping beyond the past and finding the Father within, your own wise, loving guide. Breathe deeply. Visualize the inner Father, strong, compassionate, steady, offering you the support you seek. Allow forgiveness to flow for yourself and for Him. Healing the father wound unlocks a wellspring of strength and clarity you never knew was within reach. What does your inner father ask of you now? The dance of light and shadow. The sacred masculine holds both light and shadow. Light is the warrior's courage, the king's wisdom. Shadow is the hidden rage, the unspoken fear, the buried pain. True mastery comes not from denying the shadow, but embracing it with awareness and compassion. To face your shadow is to reclaim parts of yourself lost to shame or repression. Breathe deeply. Invite your shadow forward. not as an enemy, but as a teacher. In this dance, you find wholeness and true power. Are you willing to dance with your shadow? The power of ritual. Ritual grounds the sacred masculine. It creates sacred space, marks transitions, and connects man to mystery. Whether through silence, movement, or ceremony, ritual helps you reclaim connection to your deeper self. Imagine lighting a fire in a dark forest, the flickering flames mirroring your inner light. Let the rhythm of ritual bring you home to yourself. Ritual is medicine for the fractured soul. What rituals will you create to honor your journey? The warrior's compassion. True warriors carry compassion as their shield. Compassion for themselves, for others, and for the world. This fierce kindness is not weakness. It is the highest expression of strength. The warrior who loves deeply stands unshaken in the face of adversity. Feel your heart open wide, embracing both your pain and your power. Compassion is the bridge from warrior to king. How can your compassion become your greatest strength? The visionary's eye. The sacred masculine holds vision, the ability to see beyond the present into what can be. Vision fuels purpose, ignites creativity, and guides decisive action. Without vision, the warrior becomes reactive, lost in endless struggle. See a horizon stretching wide and bright before you? What do you see there? The visionary's eye is steady, clear, and filled with hope. What vision calls you forward into the unknown? Reclaiming joy. Joy is a radical act of the sacred masculine. It is not frivolous or shallow, but a deep celebration of life's sacred gift. In reclaiming joy, you reclaim your aliveness, your freedom, your sacred right to dance in the light. Close your eyes. Remember a moment when your heart sang with joy. Let that feeling swell inside you. Let joy become your rebellion against a world that would silence your fire. Can you reclaim joy as your birthright? The warrior's rest. Even the fiercest warrior must rest. Rest is sacred, a time to replenish, reflect, and realign with purpose. In rest, the soul heals and the fire rekindles. Close your eyes. Feel your body soften, your breath slow. Allow yourself this gift, the power of deep rest. In rest, the warrior regains his strength. How will you honor your need for rest and renewal? The birth of a new man from the ashes of confusion, doubt, and fracture. A new man rises, whole, sacred, empowered. He carries the wounds of the past as marks of honor, not shame. He stands rooted in purpose, guided by wisdom, fueled by fire. This man is you, ready to reclaim the sacred masculine in a world that needs it desperately. Breathe deeply. Feel the power and peace of your rebirth. You are the warrior, the king, the builder. You are whole. Will you rise as the man you were born to be? If this journey has stirred your soul, share your commitment below. Together we awaken the sacred masculine and build a legacy of strength, compassion, and purpose. Closing mantra. I am the fire and the calm. I am the warrior and the king. I reclaim my sacred power, not from outside approval, but from the depths of my own soul. I stand whole, I stand free, I stand true. If this message resonates with you, subscribe and join a growing community of men awakening to their true nature. Comment your thoughts, your struggles, and your victories. Together we walk this path, stronger, wiser, and united.